Hi, I'm Dustin Abbott, and I'm here today to do a review of a couple of different Bluetooth speakers from the company August. I've actually done a number of August product reviews, headphones, speakers in the past, and I've been quite impressed with the combination of sound quality, functionality, and overall price for them. And so when they approached me about reviewing these, I did a little bit of research because it seemed like the price point was a little bit higher than what I'd seen in the past, but I noted that the reason for that is that these are far more than just Bluetooth speakers. These are Wi-Fi enabled multi-room speakers, and thus the technology on these, the price is quite a bit higher for them. And so I agreed to do the review, and I've been spending time with them over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I've really been impressed with what I've discovered. So the two models, the smaller model is the WS150, and the larger one is the WS300. As you can see, they're really designed for two different purposes. The WS150 is more of a portable speaker. It's one that you can easily bring along with you. It's light, it's compact, but it still packs a pretty serious sound punch. It is rated at 10 watts and puts out a good amount of sound. It also has a pretty fantastic battery life to it, and the battery playback time is 22 hours on this, which is amazing. And it takes a long time to run that battery down in normal usage, I found. Meanwhile, the WS300 is more of a room-filling sound kind of speaker. I've set it on, it's found kind of a permanent home on the fireplace mantle in our living room and pumps out a lot of sound. I love being able to just sit down during my kind of morning devotional time and get some music playing. And so they're just great for that sense. It's got a 15-watt driver in it, and but the cabinet design means that it puts out just a really rich sound. In fact, it's the first Bluetooth speaker that I've used that has actually surpassed both the Bose SoundLink that I have and a Sony XR5 model that has kind of been my go-to for that. And I was surprised at how much better the sound quality was on this than the Sony, considering the Sony is a 20 watt, but I think that the deeper cabinet on this allows it to put out a bigger, richer, stronger sound. Sound quality is really great on the WS300. It's the best sounding Bluetooth speaker that I've actually used so far, which surprised me. And so it sounds really fantastic, and in a head-to-head, it was easily noticeable as being superior to the Sony that I was using as a benchmark, the SRS X5. And so anyway, a great sound quality overall. Beyond being able to connect through Bluetooth, and by the way, you can also, they both have an auxiliary end, and so you can charge them through that means. They use a micro USB type port for charging them, and so very easy to find. Even if you lose your cord, you've probably got a half dozen of them for other things already. You can actually use a USB memory stick and plug it right into the back and have localized music without having to have a connection at all. However, you can control playlist and select what you want to play through the August A-Link app, which is available for iOS or Android. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And the WS150, instead of having the USB port, it actually has a micro USB port, and so you can put a little tiny micro USB card in there with local music on it. And so they actually have an incredible amount of ways to play music before you even get to the Wi-Fi portion. What the Wi-Fi allows you to do, however, is to stream music to them from all kinds of different sources. You can stream music either from your actual playing device, like you might do with if you're doing a Bluetooth connection. You can also connect to a home media server. But beyond that, you can connect to all kinds of different streaming audio sources. For example, like Tidal, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. There's even other ones that are available on the app that I personally don't even know about. TTPOD, Dubin FM, Xmalia, Wingting FM, and QQ Music. I don't know, but maybe that's your thing and you're able to connect to that. The one thing that's not part of the mix that I wish was, and maybe hopefully will be in the future, is Apple Music, which doesn't work right now, and that's the one streaming device that I'm actually, or streaming service that I'm actually using of those. But anyway, a lot of different options of getting music there. But beyond that, you can, the August A-Link app, which by the way is actually surprisingly user-friendly and deep, considering it's a third-party app for a smaller audio manufacturer, but it allows you to do a lot of really cool stuff. You can have these set up in multiple rooms throughout the house, and you can independently control volume levels from the app. And of course, over Wi-Fi, you don't have to worry about being tethered in the same way as you do through Bluetooth. But beyond that, the feature that I like the most is you can connect up to 4 of these speakers and assign channels to them. And so, for example, you can assign one to be left and the other to be right. And if you have those spaced out in a room, the stereo separation that you can achieve, because they'll sync up and do perfect. One functions as left channel, the other as right channel, or of course even more than that if you're adding more speakers in. And the sound is incredibly immersive. It's really quite amazing how immersive it is. And that's been my favorite thing about these. Get them set up in the right situations in a single room, and not only can you fill the room with great sound, but it's amazing how immersive that sound becomes. And it just makes you want to just sit back, close your eyes, and just kind of live in that sound stage. And it's very cool, as you can tell. I'm very enthusiastic about it. And so overall, I really like the use of these. And of course, when you get into using Wi-Fi, some of you that are not overly techie, you may find that you're going to need customer service a little bit more, because it does, there's a few steps of syncing these up and getting them set up on Wi-Fi. It's actually not hard, but if you're not kind of tech savvy, it may take you a little bit, but once you get it set up, it's really just a matter of kind of turning them on, getting the app powered on, and kind of syncing everything up. There are as I said, the app is really well designed. If I could offer up some suggestions of what I'd like to see in the future, I would like to see a battery life indicator incorporated into the app, because with Bluetooth connection, of course, at the top of your device, you may have a little battery life indicator there. But in Wi-Fi mode, you lose that functionality, and so I would like some feedback of when the battery is getting low through the app itself. I would also like to see a little bit more robust music sorting system for when you're using a USB or SD card. Right now, it's kind of like a long track list, whereas if you're using kind of local music from your device, it's going to be sorted in a more traditional fashion where it's easier to find that. Here in Canada, the WS150 runs at $120. Surprisingly, the WS300 is only a few dollars more. There's often deals on Amazon. One that I noticed recently is that if you buy more than one of these speakers, which, that's kind of the point, really. You're going to want to use them either for the multi-room capacity or for the stereo capacity. So if you're buying more than one, you can get 20% off. On Amazon.com in the US, the WS150 runs $99.95. The WS300 is $119 or $120. And so I'll throw linkage to both places down below. And look there, there's often deals to help you get even a little bit better price than that. At the end of the day, though, these are both very impressive in terms of the sound quality. This little guy has a tremendous amount of punch, whereas the WS300, it really is a room-filling speaker. It has beautiful sound from it. And so, they're not like super cheap, but when you compare them to multi-room Wi-Fi speakers, they actually still are very inexpensive, and so end up providing that, to me now familiar, August blend of having great sound quality, good solid design, and also a very affordable price. I'm Dustin Abbott. You can follow me on social media down below, and if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.